Live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live Q&A session where we're going to be talking about the best SEO YouTube channel in this session. I was thinking of a keyword to go for today and I thought, fuck it, best SEO channel. Yeah, best SEO YouTube channel. Why not?
Why not?
Why not? But we are sponsored by the news guy. See the link below. That is Randy and his news digital PR service. So check that out. He has been around for a while and does a very good job. Comes highly recommended in the industry. So the link is below to check out the news guy. But we are here to answer your questions. So any questions you do have, put them in the chat and ask whatever it is you would like to ask. We are here to answer anything we possibly can. So don't hold back. Also, if you're listening, let us know where you're listening in from, because we know there's always a lot of earwiggers listening in and never talk. Did they ever tell you that as well, Chris? Like, oh yeah, I listen to you and Chris every week, but they never fucking comment. Like everywhere I go, they're like, oh, I love that. But it's whether they listen live or not is also part of the
Not a ton. There's been a couple like, oh, I'm a lurker, but not a ton.
But yeah,
I'm not that lucky. One day.
One day.
One day. Post is the best part of the website. I got an email from Holly. She had a cool little. I noticed she was pitching a system. That was fun. I always like how she words stuff. I always like her marketing style.
Yeah.
And then it's just like a little tidbit in the parentheses. Plus, my secret, never seen before, management system. Just a little, I love Holly.
She says enough to pique your
Just
interest. But what post is the best part of website audit?
Post is the best part. Is that a statement? Okay.
No, he's asking, and he's put in what.
Oh,
best part of a website audit. I mean, that really depends. If your question is what is the best part of a website audit, it depends on what you consider to be the most important part. I actually just came off of a mastermind call there, and we were doing what we call a site teardown for someone in there. So we'll just go in and rip it apart. Now, obviously, people will say, "Oh, check, check the SEMrush audit and see what images have not got alt text behind them." And you're like, that is not going to move the needle massively. And in my opinion, that's just my opinion. Now, of course, someone's got an argument to say, well, best practice is to do that, but
of course,
you've got to use your experience in terms of what is going to get you the most traction on something. If you've got a whole heap of 404s of pages that you've just fucking pulled down and not done any redirects on, that would be more important than tagging your images. Or if you've got a bunch of broken stuff or whatever. However, other people say site speed's the most important thing. Someone else will say, nah, something else. So you're never going to get a straight answer out of everyone. Chris will probably think certain parts of a website are more important than something else in his experience and markets and everything that he operates in. So everyone's different. I wouldn't like to sit there and say this part's the best as such. But what are you looking for, Chris, in a site audit? Or a better way to phrase this is, what is the most common things that you see that you would then go and say, go and fucking do these 3 things, and you get a difference?
Well, the very first and most common things are going to be whatever Google Search Console is spewing out. Mm-hmm. So those are the first, most identifiable, easiest, must do. Hey, let's address these issues. Crawled, crawled not indexed, 404s, canonical errors, that kind of stuff. we address that first because generally clients will see that first.
Yeah.
Because you were asking what's first, right? Not most important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's first. It's first what is visible to the client that's irritating said client, and we're going to address that. So that's going to be the GSC issues. The next thing that we want to make sure are most important is going to be security and like, is the site locked down? Do we have passwords on top of the passwords on the folders? Yay or nay? Is it locked down? The next part that I feel is going to be most important is going to have to do with, is going to be the speed. Are the images optimized? I'm going to start looking at that type of stuff. Really hosting level. Those are the most important to me.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
like going through a checklist, really we'll pull up Sitebull, whatever that says. That's what we do. And depending upon the value that the client is willing to fork over, will determine how many sections we'll do. You want the entire list? Yeah, that's going to take some time. If you just want me to hit the critical zones, well, we could do that quickly and that'll be cheaper.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, man. What about you? What do you think?
I mean, there's
GSC.
What GSC? I wouldn't disagree with anything you've said, but again, are you humoring the client, or do you want to move the website forward? You know, a lot of websites, content is normally shit, and probably 90% of the instances that I see, that is not going to flag up on a audit,
technical audit.
Audit. You know, so the point I'm trying to make is,
I don't even look at the technical audit.
What is a fucking audit?
We're trying to win.
Yeah, you know, what is an audit? You know, there's a lot more than just chucking it through SEMrush or Sitebulb or whatever. You know, there are other things that I'd be looking for. Going, dude,
absolutely,
you come to me with a fucking website with really poor content, and I don't give a fuck what that technical audit says, but that is getting addressed first and foremost, because if you've got no content, nothing else is happening and nothing else matters. So again, it depends on the situation. When I look at the website, I go, right, something, you know, if you've got 1,000 pages and your website gets 23 visitors a month, I'm going to be going, right, something's odd here. You know, the content is really shit. Something is really off. And go down that route of trying to address that first and foremost, before get into any kind of technical stuff. But not that I disagree with what Chris is saying. I just think how we all look at these things is going to be slightly different. And the first thing I do before auditing anything, Chris, is look at the fucking traffic and stuff and say, right, where are we at? What's been done? And what's been done wrong? Because they're not coming to us if everything's going well. Very rarely do you get that. So,
well, yeah, leaning towards the competitive audit is definitely more important. But yeah, to that gentleman's question, though, that's the technical side. But really, I have to agree with Craig. The competitive audit, or understanding what is needed to win, is more important. No question. No question.
So,
but back to that, though, other than what's in GSC on a technical standpoint, for you personally, is the next most important thing? I mean, those types, actually, I would put security first, like the hosting and then security. Would you grade that the same way or not?
Yeah.
Where do you rank security?
Very, very high, mate. And I'll tell you why. Years and years ago, it was more prominent. There was I don't know, maybe about 2014. And I was doing a lot of client work at the time. So I was managing a whole heap of websites, and there was a whole spate of hacks going on to the website. And it would come under their Google listing, this website has been hacked. So the minute a client seen that, they fucking shit their pants, and they were on the phone. So what I found at that point was that, you know, hackers or whatever you want to call it, security is vital, because the minute that, you know, that I've had websites that have been hacked that I couldn't clean up, that were just that badly done that they had to be rebuilt. And I think security is very, very high up, just based on previous experience. And I know there's plugins there and everything else that do a reasonably good job, but I think going above and beyond, it's your shop fucking window. And if someone's stopping your money coming because you've scrimped on security, then I think you've got a massive problem, because I've been there and I've had it. Clients are on the phone, my fucking website's down, this, that, and the next thing. And, you know, multiple of them at the same time. Because what happened, Chris, it was the old shared hosting accounts that you used to get, the old cPanel ones. And when the hack got into one website, it was able to rip through the whole fucking lot. And when you've got multiple clients breathing down your neck, it's not funny, man. So yeah, that stressful time has always just made sure that security is higher up in my priorities these days. So yeah, it's there's always dirty dogs out there doing weird shit. So
always,
yeah.
Man, they're not loving our title today, huh? Were you just on yesterday or the day before again?
No. I don't know if it's been the weeks of not being live. We've not got the consistency back. So there we go. But keep the questions coming, guys. But Adam says, any recommendations for ranking Reddit threads? He's seen a lot more high positions for local terms. Do you mess around with Reddit a lot?
I mean, I was for a while there. It's been a lot more difficult to get those best ofs, like best lawyer, best car accident, who should I choose? Like what's being rewarded has changed from like the best ofs. They were taking opinions based upon best of, like, oh, this guy's the best at this. This is the best. Instead, they're taking like discussions or posts that are formatted differently, and it's just tricky. I can't guarantee it. It's just more difficult. Plus, the accounts are harder now. I gave up on it. That's the real reason. Yeah, like that's it. It just got harder. It's not worth my time.
Yeah. I mean, there still is a lot of people doing it and
oh yeah,
ranking it and making bank from it. So my advice would always be, Adam, if there's traffic there and you can do it easily and it's cost effective, why not? Why not? So
I see Quora's coming back into play too. Like I was just looking up this one, and this is interesting too. Like this is the other piece that got disheartened me, was they've been fluctuating I don't know what you would call it, discussion and form snippet. Like I'm looking at this one, best car accident lawyer in Houston, which was one we were working on. And like this one keeps flip flopping.
Yeah.
Like now there's a Quora, car accident lawyers, Houston, that one's always there. And then there's looking for a personal recommendation for good quality injury. Like that's the issue. Like they're not staying there. They're changing. They're looking for different intents of point of view or something. Like it's just a pain.
Yeah. But I think Reddit in particular seems to be fairly solid in terms of sticking around. So, you know, a lot of people are using it. Some of the others fluctuate in and out. But, you know, like you say, Reddit will also fluctuate in and out. But I think Reddit have... Did Google buy Reddit?
Oh, they have it. Yeah.
Man.
I think Reddit's going to be there for the discussion and forum tab.
Yeah.
But man, I wish they would, like when that first started showing up though, they would pick a post and it would just stay there.
Yeah.
You know, like, man, I miss those days a month ago. But yeah, I don't know if did they buy them or did they buy... I don't know. They're in cahoots together, though.
Yeah, I knew they either bought them or done a deal together or whatever the hell it may be. So yeah. Veer is asking, backlinks, do they still support website rankings in this day and age, Chris? Do you still feel that backlinks are as important as they always have been?
Oh, as important? Not as important. I think having the right backlinks in the right amounts can be helpful, for sure. Backlinks are definitely still relevant. They still have value, but is it 2011? No. I wish. So there's still value there, but are they category specific? Like that's the question.
Yeah.
Like that's really what we're looking for. How many RDs that are category specific? That's it. And that still moves the needle from a cheap standpoint. And then if I want to pay a little bit more, is it category specific? Is it getting links that are category specific? And is it ranking for key terms and pulling in traffic for key terms that my site is also ranking for and pulling in? Yes or no? That would make the link value a little bit higher. And then the page that I'm on, if that page that I'm getting a link from is getting traffic for the keywords I want, and it's in the link graph, that's a winning link.
Yeah.
Far and few, though. Be nice.
Hopefully that helps you, Veer. But yeah, it's not just a numbers game anymore.
No.
So, Chris, I just got your DM as well. The title for that podcast is perfect, mate. Feel free to go with that one. But no, I haven't released my AI avatar into the world already. I actually played around with it last week with these AI avatars. I seen Slory doing it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try it. But I think they're rough, man. I think they're rough. the eyes and stuff like that. Slory was like not looking at the camera and things like that. And yeah, it's just not quite there, is it? Well, not in my opinion anyway. So I don't think it's ready to be unleashed just yet, Chris. You're going to have to put up with the real me for
a little bit longer.
A little bit longer, man.
By next week, it should be done.
Yeah. We'll see. But Adam says that Reddit did a deal. Reddit is a standalone, publicly traded company now. But yeah, there is some kind of deal going on. And
yeah, they have a licensing deal. I went and looked it up. $60 million licensing deal to utilize Reddit to train the model. Google's models.
Jeez.
It's nice.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? 60 million, just like that. Fucking, why did I not invent that shit?
Dang it.
But yeah, it's you always in hindsight go, you bastards. I could have such a simple concept.
Simple. And it was nothing until Google bought it, though. Or not bought it, but until they did that licensing deal.
Yeah.
Like, did you see the traffic? It was like this, and then whoop.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Amazing what.
I wonder how long that license is. It'd be funny to see when the license is up or when they're done with them, and then let's see their traffic when they're done.
You reckon?
All right, we're done with
it. Yeah, be pretty shitty if they done that, but
you never know.
They pull the strings, of course, so they do what they want. Chris is saying ha 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 ha, but yeah, guys, ask more questions. We need something to work with, so put your questions in the chat. Doesn't have to be anything related to the title. Best SEO best SEO YouTube channel. I've just got to change the titles up now. That's just got to be done. But we are here to answer any question. But I'm just going to check YouTube actually, because I'm going to imagine you must have went for that as well. Best SEO YouTube channel. It's up there just now, of course, while we're live. But
Sweet.
for how long? That is the question. But anyway, whilst we're waiting for people to ask things, Chris, anything else new in the horizon? You've got new things every week. Anything different, new?
I don't know what's been new. No, I mean I'm ironing out some more of those templates. We're making make work. Nah, nothing really new. Just been playing around with more YouTube stuff. I'm sure you have too.
Trying to. I'm trying to be more consistent on YouTube as well, in terms of releasing more content, more videos. So I need to up my game with that. And yeah, it's not easy.
It's not easy, but yeah, I agree with that every day. I try it every day. I went to every other day only because I was working on other projects. But yeah, I'm with you on the daily or multiple times. But I noticed, man, you can overdo it though.
Oh yeah. It's getting the balance of doing it enough. I've never wanted to be the guy that just does video after video, starting to repeat themselves time and time again, saying the same shit over and over and over again, which is why I kind of done a lot, then took my foot off the gas, because there is only so much you can cover without repeating again and again and again. So, but I think with the AI and everything else, there's enough out there to be creating good content and different content, rather than just the same old crap, because that obviously gets boring for me as well. So
yes,
there we have it. But Adam is asking, can you say anything about your directory project?
It's going very well. We're in multiple states, multiple cities. I mean, what's there to say? We're working on it. It's a work in progress. What we're finding is, as we're working on a marketing strategy within the platform, because we're finding, well, we found out that once you reach a independent contractor, they generally are they're almost in herds, right? So we almost want to incentivize the current that we have. Like, that's what we're trying right now. Let's incentivize who we have and any newcomers, that if they are able to get X new freelancers onto the platform, they would be able to get 10 free posts or whatnot. Because really the name of the game is trying to stay to the top of the list. It's not jumping yet. To do that, we have to make the list shorter, so that way that there is a to pay again to get to the top. But objectively, what we're looking to do is have enough in there to where there's value to be rise to the top. And then if you go get me some more people, I'll give you some free ones. So that's what we're going to try right now. I might even go as far as like the initial people. If you can go and get 5, or like maybe like a tier system, I don't know. That's what we're working on, like marketing with the people that we have. Yeah, just launching more cities. I'm also noticing there's another player in the marketplace that does it in a different manner, not up in front looking like a directory that has automobiles along with numerous other services and freelancers. It's almost like a private and discreet, almost like a membership of sorts.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about that too. But yeah, just directory style. It's fun.
Do you think people are attracted to like the private and discreet thing? Like, not everyone can get in there. Do you think that's actually a
well,
thing?
I was introduced to another platform by one of the guys that I'm working on this project with, and he has logins, and we logged in, and there's a rating system. It's very active. There's a discussion. There's a rating system. There's verified and unverified talent, and they pay a monthly fee. And then on top of that, to get in on the other side too, like there's multiple angles there, because then the talent can pay a percentage per VIP, because now not only am I sending the customer a vetted, verified VIP talent, but also I'm sending you a vetted, verified human, because in order to sign up, you got to have your ID, like crypto. You got your ID, your name, like you're a legit person that's on the up and up. So I'm sending you a perfect person, and I'm sending this person a perfect person. So yeah, I think there's value there. There's value in quality. People are willing to pay for quality, discreetness, and then people crave community. So yeah, I think there's value there. But can you make enough noise to gather enough attention to make it valuable? Because there has to be attention too. There has to be community to gather more. So that's tough. Yeah, I think there's value there.
I've looked at these things, and when you say communities and stuff, I've looked at a lot of communities over the last couple of months, and you see, I think you mentioned it last week. You go to school or some of these other platforms, and some of the numbers that are in there is scary.
Wild.
Scary.
Exactly.
So
it shows where the interest is.
Yeah. So I don't know if these, how the fuck, because some of the people that are on there are not necessarily that well known.
Never even heard their name. I know, bro. 90,000 members. I know, it's crazy.
How they get, is that coming from school itself? Like, is school marketing these communities to a much wider audience, or how the fuck are they doing it?
There's so many in there, and some of them aren't cheap. And then you look at what's there. It's not time. It'll be templates, or it'll be a class with templates, and we meet once a month. And I'm like, wait a minute, you have 4,000 members? I'm like, what the heck? The only time I ever saw guys doing that was they're doing them for $9.99 or something like that. And it's a bunch of value for real cheap, and you get a bunch of people on. Like, it's crazy over there. I don't know how they're doing it, to be honest, because a lot of them, literally almost all of them, I've never heard their name. I've never seen their ads. I have no idea who they are. You look them up online, they might have a Facebook profile.
Yeah.
It's crazy, dude. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I could understand it if, someone that's got a big following and stuff like that. I get it. But like you say, just some of these guys just never even bumped into them, which is just strikes me slightly bizarre, but it is what it is.
And then just one more caveat on this. There was a gentleman in there in the space that you're entering into, and I could have swore I saw 24,000 members.
There probably is. It's scary with AI just now. The numbers is fucking insane. So yeah, it's mind-boggling to say the least. But fair play.
Yeah, that opened my eyes to how, wow, there's that much interest.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's mad. It is mad. Dev Tantia is here. Hey, you. But guys, we do need questions, or we can wrap up early if people are just fed up or not there this week. But yeah, it's fucking really quiet this week. Like really, quieter than anything I've ever seen. Because everything is done the normal way.
Best SEO YouTube channel. I think I saw primary distribution. Let's see here. Yeah. That's why I was curious. Were you just on what?
Yeah. Oh, you fucker. I have just. God, it's bizarre.
Wait, who put this? Is this is this a joke that you put up, CraigCampbellSEO.com?
Oh, no. Someone else has done that for me.
It's in my kit, OnlyFan, the hub. Yeah. Okay. So it's not a joke. This is yours.
Oh, no, it's not mine. It's not mine. Someone has put a copy of my website up trying to fuck around. I don't know why you would do that, but yeah, it's not mine.
It's silly.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just looking to see what's up. So you haven't been on. When you came on I think you were on just the other day, weren't you?
Not in a live. Last week was the last time.
Okay. So you're thinking it's just the time frame, huh? Like us not being consistent?
Yeah. I think that gap of not doing it for 6 weeks or whatever it was has fucked us a bit in terms of people coming on. Because everything else is popping.
Bananas.
Any update on the Phuket conference later this year? I am not sure what I'm allowed to say at this point. If it's officially launched or not, or whatever, I don't know. You would need to ask the fellas that organise it. I don't want to get into trouble. I've not officially posted anything in my website or anything, so until I get confirmed 100% dates and times, then I'm not going to say anything. But hopefully something will be announced soon. But I think it's in October, or supposed to be in October, so we shall see. Nerdy is asking your opinion on subdomains on local services SERPs. He's shown them he has seen them shown up for niche terms.
Many moons ago, when I was working on websites, that was a strategy we utilized. Was creating subdomains. We were creating subdomains based upon primary service and location, right? And yes, it was effective. However, I don't know how many we did. Let's just say we did 8. Out of the 8 of the last batch, right? I did one for AAAC Wildlife Company. One of the ones that hit was in Houston that I remember. So, but if I did 8 instances, 1 out of the 8 hit, and that was like the last time I really messed with it. So like I rarely ever see them. Like, can I get a keyword to pop pretty easily? Like I did a test in the group for TrafficBot. I put trafficbot.traffichippo.com. I copied literally Cloudflare's content. I ran a bunch of traffic to the page and we got it to hit page 1, right? But then as soon as I shut the traffic off, it fell. Like, I don't use subdomains. It's not part of my strategy. I don't utilize it anymore. The only way that I come across it now is if we have a e-com play. Like, let's say we have a local website, but we also sell maybe pool products, or we sell consultations for a law firm, or intakes. We'll put that on a subdomain. Or maybe we have a local presence, but we also sell merch or T-shirts. We'll put that on a subdomain. Mm-hmm. So that's the only time, not for a ranking purpose.
But yeah, Nerdy's going hard at that, trying to play around and see if he can get it working. So
yeah, well, best wishes.
Yeah. Dev says their website has the dates on it, but the tickets are not available. Yeah, I've just seen that there. Yeah, I'm not too sure, mate. I don't know if it's officially everything's confirmed. So ask the guys. But Eric is saying, in your experience of running Facebook ads and using a video as the ad creative, how long should the video be? And have you got any thoughts on Instagram ads as well?
When I was running, well, currently I think we have some. When we run ads on Facebook, they are relatively short, like very short. As far as the Instagram is concerned, I never had success there. Like, we've plugged them in because it's easy on Facebook to like run them on Instagram as well. I never found success there. Maybe I didn't invest enough. I didn't give it enough time. I wasn't doing it right. Who knows? But as far as the exact videos, I think they're generally about like a minute and a half. They're relatively short. Sometimes we'll make long ones, but the shorter ones generally do a lot better. They're made just for Facebook. Like we'll put the button on so it looks like you have to go to it, but then when you click to it, it goes off. Like they're short, and IG is a failure for us. So hopefully that helps you.
There's not much I can add to that. I think short, sharp, and to the point in terms of videos on the ad. No one wants anything long-winded. And I would also agree, Instagram as a platform in general, I have seen work very, very well for certain types of industries, but it's never been a big thing from a SEO perspective. Like I've never seen an SEO person like leverage the shit out of that platform, if that makes sense, and get a whole heap of traction from it. So it's not great. I'd probably say it's the least effective platform for me personally. But I think, depends on what you do, Eric. I've seen it work massively well for makeup people, hairdressers, things that are maybe a little more visual, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't dismiss it because obviously I don't know what niches you operate in. I think for me, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter to a small degree have all worked far better. So
did you say Twitter, X?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't do as much on X as I used to, purely because I do also feel there's a lot of nonsense on X as well. Just a lot of trolling and things like that. So, yeah, but try them out. I think there's no such thing as not trying these things out, Eric. I would even go as far to say in the past, I've also tried Quora ads and various other things as well, and got varying degrees of success from that. So, and you mentioned here it's a travel client. I have seen travel people do well on Instagram, showcasing nice things, and I think travel would fit into the category of more visually appealing than maybe showing a fucking map grid or something from an SEO perspective. So whether it's a nice beach, whether it's a nice hotel, just a nice location, I think Instagram is a good potential place for that type of client. And Eric has then said, when pointing the ad to the landing page for, say, a holiday package, does the text like book now, inquire now bear any reference?
So you have a holiday package. We're talking about the anchor text from an ad.
So you can have more or whatever. Do you think it's important?
Do I think that the anchor text pointing in from an ad matters? It depends on where you're sending it. Are you sending it to a subdomain because you have a page that's crafted just for this ad type? I think it's wildly dependent on where you're sending it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I wouldn't be too concerned. If I'm running advertising, the objective isn't necessarily going to be SEO value. It's going to be conversion value. So it's not necessarily a metric that I'm going to be interested in. Plus, a lot of the platforms, they limit the selection of what I can send, like as a click, like sign up, click here, join now, like these types of terms, generic. Yeah. So you're limited. Plus, that's not really my concern. My concern is, am I converting?
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps you.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that, Eric. There's not much else I can say. I mean, all I would really say, if you're sending someone to a landing page and it doesn't have the ability to book now, and if it's for more information, I would use the most common sense, learn more or whatever it would be. I wouldn't say book now if you couldn't book now on that landing page, if that makes sense, because I think you're going to piss people off at that point if you're saying here's the call to action, but you can't do it. You can't do that. Book now and you can't book shit. You've got to fill out a big form or something. You're just like, you bastards. You didn't make that easy. So yeah, I've just used common sense when it comes to that. I don't think
everything.
Yeah, for everything. Yeah. So hopefully that helps you, Eric. But guys, we do have some time left. If you've got questions, you might as well use and abuse us while we're here, or we can wrap up early. If there is no people here, there's not a public holiday, is there? Can't be a public holiday, February.
No, I don't think so.
I'm trying to think why it would be so quiet on a random Wednesday in February. But no, go say what you're going to say, Chris.
Well, I was just like distribution, the optimization. Is it on Facebook? Did it follow the same procedures?
Yep.
I mean, is it hard to say?
Hard to say.
Maybe the topic. Maybe they're sick of us.
Nah.
I mean, it's
sick of us.
Well, we like to stay busy, but really, we have to remember it is noon on a Wednesday.
Dude, it is actually a holiday in Scotland. Maybe the UK. It is half term. So there is school holidays.
Holiday in the UK. What's it called? Half
term, yeah.
What's that mean?
They just get a random fucking holiday.
Just a day. Take a break.
Not today. They've been off since Monday.
Wow.
So yeah, it's
wow.
That could explain it. That could explain it. But what is the ideal time to run the ad to get decent analytics for it to be successful? Is it 7 or 10 days? How long would you run?
Okay, so when we're running local ads, generally we'll go very, very broad for the entire month while we're accruing negative terms, but usually within a month's time. And what we're trying to do when we're going broad, we're of course adding negative terms, but what we're trying to figure out is what are the best key terms, what are the best areas, and what are the best times of day. So when month 2 or month 3 hits, we can hit best key term and key term variations. On top of that, the best locations at the best time. Like I'm willing to bid for top of page at the best time for the best key terms in the best area. And that's what, month, sometimes longer. It depends on the campaign, the niche, the topic, the area that we're targeting, what's the platform that we're targeting on. There's nuances, but 30 to 60 days.
Yeah.
And what I've also learned too is if you're not getting the data fast enough, throw more money in. Speed it up. Like that was such a big eye opener for me. Was like you always think that it's going to be this immediate ROI, but it's all about lifetime, full customer value, lifetime value. Look at bigger chunks of time.
Yeah.
Yes. And accruing, the more data that you can accrue, the better tuning that you can do and the better in the long term you'll do.
Yeah.
Like the more money you put in, just the better it does over time. And the reason for that is because you're fine tuning as you go, creating different creatives, different ads, different, whatever you want to call it, a hook. Like,
but
more money, more time.
Also go through that learning phase at the start as well. So you've got to account for that as well. I see a lot of people fuck around with their ads after 2 and 3 days worth of data, and you're like, it could be like we said, just a minute ago, it could be fucking half term. You've launched your ads on Monday, and you're pulling the plug because it's not converting that well. Are there outside factors that could, so giving it, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days could just be a rough week in terms of just how things go. So I think that's a common thing I see, where people try and make too many changes too quick rather than just letting, obviously the Facebook, for example, go through its learning phase or whatever, and then give it some time, and then you've got a more accurate set of data to then go, how do we fine tune this? So yeah, it's something and I tell people this at the start, and they still come back after 3 days. I've had X amount of clicks and it's shitty conversions, and you're like, the fuck do you do? What the fuck do you do? So yeah. But Adam is asking for an update on the the Auto-schema, Chris. It's like you've got all of this shit going on in the background that no one fucking knows.
As far as the Auto-schema is concerned, yeah, I found I have the scraper to be able to parse the content. We did it in Python. It's cheap and effective. I see here. You want to know what it is, Adam? I want it to be precisely every single attribute to be filled out, and it's not pushing it back perfectly. However, what I noticed inside of Google's featured guides is they'll have recommendations. So they have all of the types of schema markup that are actually going to get enhancement. And then if you start looking at the data points, it'll say, hey, these are the ones that we recommend, like the subtypes inside of this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, because instead of having, say, article and there's 50 subtypes, Google is actually saying, hey, you really only need 12. So now we have the parser. I have pretty much, I would say half of them are complete. But we're just going back, like on the main ones, like the articles, the organization. Like I need those to hit perfectly, and then I'll be very happy. So that way it's just auto. Poof. And then once I have that and it works inside of Colab and it works inside of Excel, and of course it'll work inside of a script as well, what we want to do is we want to make it into a plugin. So that's next. We're going to try it. But of course, we're all going to get it. I think you're in the group. We'll be playing with that for free, though. I'm just going to give it to you in a script. As long as you have an API key, like OpenAI or Grok or any of the ones that can go online, you're golden.
Yeah, don't want to be using your credits, Chris.
Yeah, no.
Burn those motherfuckers.
That wouldn't be nice.
End up with $1 million bill with some of these guys. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's funny. Eric, if you have a product that's seasonal, i.e. summer vacation 2025, should you create a new page each year for this, or just change the 2025 to 2026 and redirect? That's a good question. What would you do, Chris?
So I thought about this when I was watching you with the Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And after I watched and I saw, and then I was looking, I work with a guy that does cars. He'll still create the individual year pages because he could piggyback off his evergreen page. But the evergreen page always wins because of the age. So the URL, you can change or you can't change. So you want that to be evergreen. So in this particular case, summer vacations or best summer vacations or whatever, however you want it to be. And then you can change your title tag, your H1, and the overall density of the page and the content or the context. So I think that's how I would handle it. However, you can have a sub page that's after, and that's what the car guy does. It'll be website.com/summer vacation /summer vacations 2025. Almost like supporting, but he has that evergreen too.
Yeah.
So, in any case.
Yeah, I think I would agree with what Chris has said. I wouldn't have 2025 or anything in the URL and stuff like that. I think, like Chris says, the aged URL always wins in the end. So I would always stick with that and just change out everything else. Even just have the plugin like better search and replace, and just change 2025 to 2026, and it'll go and do that whole thing on your whole fucking website. Across multiple pages, if indeed you have that type of thing in your titles and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that would be the best advice. But can you follow that up with some supporting pages and stuff? Why not? There are going to be other more specific search terms that you could build to support that page. So absolutely.
Yeah, just be careful. Like, look for as a caveat. So on that supporting page, so the top level page will go after whatever the commercial intent is, right? And then you can change to go after year. But there's blended SERPs. Like a premium example of this could be that supporting page could be the best summer vacations of 2025. And then that top level is summer vacations, and you just change the density to 2025. This way I have this commercial, and then the best of will go for info and commercial. And that's the way to get 2 spots in the SERP. But you already knew that. Man. Awesome. Yeah, and I've been playing around with YouTube. I've been messing with the video. I made the worst video ever for, I think this one was a local lead generation agency.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been messing around with that one for a while. Yeah, it's been fun. I've been playing with YouTube. I'm trying to get I'm always looking for like a formula. Like, okay, step 1, step 2, step 3. Yeah. Here's what we did. Okay, and then we've repeated it. This would be the 3rd time that I've repeated the process and it worked.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. I'm having fun. I always see our mutual friend. See him all over. And then there's like other SERPs that I'll see him in. Mm-hmm. And then I'll go and search online to see like what's the overall volume for this term, and it'll be sky high, and I'll be like, oh, that little devil. Oh, it's funny.
Interesting.
Yes, interesting.
What people are doing. But if there is no questions, I think we should just wrap up early.
Yeah, sounds good.
Because I am busting for a piss. Anyway, blame them. But nah, if there is no questions, we will wrap up early. But before we do check out Chris are you still on the chrispalmer.org?
Yep, chrispalmer.org. About to be grey hat, SEO.com.
So check him out there on YouTube or wherever else you can hunt him down. Disclaimer, I am not his personal assistant, so
you couldn't afford him.
Yeah. But do also check out the news guy. The link is below, and we'll catch you at the same time next week, everyone.